The movie begins with Zdzisław Naymrowski, also known as Naymro, and his team, Antos, Młoda, and Teplik, living a flashy life by robbing Puex stores, which sell luxury items that regular people can't afford. These stores only accept American dollars, making it nearly impossible for the average person to shop there. But Naymro and his crew change that. They steal from Puex and sell the goods to the public, making them somewhat of modern-day Robin Hood in the eyes of the people. One day, Naymro and his gang break into a store, stuffing their bags with expensive luxury items. They know the police are outside, waiting to catch them, so they come up with a clever trick to distract the officers. Their plan works perfectly, and they manage to grab everything valuable without getting caught. After a few hours of looting, they finally load all the stolen goods into their car, ready to make a clean escape. Just as they are about to drive away, a man with a dog suddenly appears in front of them. He looks at them suspiciously, as if he knows what they've done. Naymro, always quick on his feet, reaches into the stash and hands the man 2 luxury items. The man glances at the goods, then gives a small nod and steps aside, allowing them to pass. With that small bribe, the gang speeds off, disappearing into the night with their stolen fortune. However, their actions are still crimes, and the militia is determined to stop them. Lieutenant Barsky, a tough and relentless officer, takes on the mission of capturing Naymro. He sees the gang as nothing more than criminals, and is willing to do whatever it takes to put them behind bars. Despite being constantly chased by the law, Naymro becomes famous for his daring escapes and clever tricks. No prison can hold him for long, and he always seems to be one step ahead. His ability to slip away turns him into a legend, frustrating the authorities while entertaining the public. But as times change, so does Naymro. When he meets Teresa, a woman who makes him question his reckless lifestyle, he starts thinking about leaving crime behind. However, escaping his past isn't easy, especially with Barsky still hunting him down. One night, Naymro meets Tereska. Now we know she is a ticket seller at a movie theater. Outside the theater, Naymro's car broke down, and Tereska showed up. Now they go out on her motorcycle. Tereska rides the motorcycle like a pro, and Naymro asks her for a date, to which she agrees. Unlike most people, she isn't impressed by his charm, and that's exactly what makes him fall for her. She's different, and Naymro finds himself drawn to her in a way he hasn't felt before. As his feelings for Tereska grow, Naymro starts changing his ways. Naymro and his gang are back at it again, stealing from a store without realizing that the police are secretly watching them. They continue their robbery, completely unaware that officers are waiting for the right moment to catch them. As soon as they realize the police are after them, they panic, jump into their car, and speed away. A high-speed chase begins, with the police sirens blaring behind them. They try their best to escape, swerving through the streets, but luck is not on their side. Their car crashes badly, smashing into pieces. Miraculously, they survive the wreck, but the chase is over for them. The police capture Naymro and throw him into a jail cell. The officer who arrests him feels proud and accomplished, believing that justice has been served. But Naymro isn't the type to stay locked up for long. In an unbelievable twist, he manages to escape the police headquarters by disguising himself in a police uniform. He walks right out the front door, and no one even realizes it's him. His escape is smooth, quick, and effortless. When he finally gets home, his mother sees him in the police uniform and assumes he's an officer. Furious, she attacks him, thinking the police have come to harass her. But as soon as she recognizes her son, her anger turns into relief, and she welcomes him with open arms. The next day, Naymro shows up with a flashy red car, looking cooler than ever. With a confident grin, he picks up Tereska and takes her on a special date, as if nothing ever happened. Now that robbing Puex stores is getting hard because of the police, he shifts to stealing and selling cars. But balancing love and crime isn't easy. His focus on Tereska begins to affect his work, and not everyone in his crew is happy about it, especially Antos. Frustrated with Naymro's distraction, Antos takes matters into his own hands. He robs someone directly and brings the money back, something that goes against Naymro's code. To Naymro, Stealing from stores and selling goods to the public is one thing, but robbing an individual is crossing the line. Furious, he kicks Antos out of the gang, showing that even criminals have their own set of rules. Angry and seeking revenge, Antos betrays Naymro by tipping off the police about his location. As a result, Naymro is arrested and sent to jail. While he's behind bars, Antos fully embraces crime, joining a dangerous mob and becoming even more ruthless. Antos doesn't stop there. He goes after Naymro's family. He steals money from them and even attacks Tereska, showing just how far he's willing to go. But everything changed when the Berlin Wall fell on November 9th, 1989. A new government takes over in Poland, leading to Naymro's release. At the same time, Barsky, the determined officer who had spent years chasing Naymro, is removed from his position due to political shifts. But now, instead of being enemies, Naymro's family turns to Barsky for help. With a common enemy in Antos, they all join forces to bring him down once and for all. Naymro tracks down Antos at a nightclub, determined to put an end to their conflict. He warns him to stay away from his family, but doesn't leave before hitting him on the head with a gun as a final warning. Furious and unwilling to back down, Antos follows Naymro as he leaves the club, setting off a high-speed car chase. As Antos chases Naymro, another player enters the scene, Barsky. The former officer, who had once been Naymro's biggest enemy, is now secretly tailing both of them. His plan is clear: take down Antos while he is too focused on Naymro to notice. The chase continues, until suddenly, a car explosion erupts. Barsky arrives at the scene and discovers that it was Naymro's car that exploded. Among the wreckage, the police find a severed left hand with a ring on one of its fingers, a ring that belonged to Naymro. This gruesome discovery confirms what everyone fears: Naymro is dead. Back home, Naymro's family, still in shock, gathers to honor him. They raise a toast to their lost loved one, mourning his tragic end. But just as they come to terms with their grief, Naymro himself walks in. The entire room freezes in shock as they realize that he is missing his left hand. It doesn't take long for them to piece things together. Naymro had faked his death. The man who died in the explosion was Antos, not him. By leaving his hand at the scene, Naymro successfully convinced both the police and the criminal underworld that he was gone for good. This way, he could finally disappear from their radar and live life on his terms. In the final scene, Naymro appears in an interview. When asked about his thoughts on life, he smiles and says he loves action movies and that love is a must. And that's how Naymro pulled off his greatest escape yet, outsmarting the police, the mobs, and even death itself. Now that's legendary. But what do you think? Did Naymro deserve his freedom, or should he have paid for his crimes? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more thrilling movie breakdowns. And hey, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the next adventure. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.